So what I'm going to do today is do Photoshop exercises. And these are some of the homework assignments that you guys have. And we're going to start with the first homework assignment, which is creating a fashion collection that looks like this. So I want you to have at least 3 dresses and create a title for it. And this is what we are going to work on today. Okay, now I'm going to Photoshop and I'm going to click on new file. And as usual, we're going to select a regular paper size. So you can click on print. You can select those, or you can customize these measurements. But if you go to print, it will automatically give you a regular paper size. And we're changing the resolution to 72 as usual. And we're going to say create. So now we have our blank page and we are going to create that fashion collection here. Now, again, you can zoom in and out of this and make it a little bit bigger so you can work a little easier. So what we are going to do here is find a couple different outfits, and we are going to find a title, and we are going to create that fashion collection. Now, I'm going to do Valentine's Day again, but if you guys want to do something else, you can do, you can do back to school collection. You can do, men's outfits. So whatever you want to do. But what we are going to learn about today is using Magic Wand and what it actually does. So Magic Wand tool is this one. And if you actually click on that little arrow, it has a couple different options, and there's this option that says quick selection. So we're going to learn about Magic Wand and quick selection tools and create this little fashion collection together. Now, remember, whenever you click on any of these tools, for example, if you click on brush, then on top, you will see all the controls for brush. If you click on Magic Wand, you will see all the controls for Magic Wand. And we are also going to use some of those menus here. So first thing we have to do is go to either Google Images, or you can create a Pinterest board, and you can use your board to copy and paste images. I actually do have a Pinterest account, so I'm going to go to Pinterest. And I created a board. Let's get rid of this. We're going to go to this board. So I'm going to use some of those pictures here. Now, if you notice, I picked pictures that have a single color background. I don't want you guys to pick pictures that have very difficult backgrounds, because we haven't learned about these yet. So for example, if I just search red dresses, if you see a background like this or background like this one, it's going to be a little bit difficult because we haven't really learned about this yet. So try to pick backgrounds that are a single color. Okay, now let's just go back to my board. So I have a bunch of pictures here. Okay, so I'm going to right click, copy image, and then I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to go to File, New, and it will actually give you the option for clipboard. So we're going to select clipboard and create, and then we're going to go paste, and now we have this picture here. Now, we didn't talk about layers yet, but when you look at the right hand side, you see the background, which is our blank page right here, and then the picture we just copied is going to be here. So you have the background and you have one picture. So what we want to do is we want to copy this picture and put it in this background. That's the first thing we're going to do. But let's just find a couple other pictures so that they're all listed here. That way we will be able to easily copy and paste everything. Okay, I have to go back to Pinterest. So I'm going to copy this image. Copy image. I'll do the same thing on Photoshop. I'll go File, New, Clipboard, Create, and Edit, Paste. So now I have the second picture. select this one. Okay, I'm going to go to Google and type Valentine's Day. I'm going to go to images, and we are going to find a Valentine's Day title. Let's try this one. Here, we're going to copy the image and go back to Photoshop, File, New, Clipboard is selected, Create, and we just go Edit, Paste. Now, again, you can use Control V or Command V on this to copy paste those things. You're going to actually learn how to use those shortcuts. They come in pretty handy and makes it very easy. Okay, now we have that. Now, one thing we have to check is the image size. So you can go to image and you can go to image size, and it will give you all the information about the image size. Now, our resolution is going to stay at 72 because we selected that at the beginning, but the width and height, we are limited to an 8.5 wide and 11-inch high paper page. So we don't want these images to be too big. We want them to be small because we want to fit 3 of them together. Actually, I'm going to make this 4 wide. I think that's a good size. And we're going to do that for each picture. Go to image size and make the width a little bit smaller so that our pictures can fit all together. We'll go to image size. This one is already small. I think we're fine. And then this one, image size, that's too big. So let's make it 3. Okay, or maybe we can make this one 4. Okay, so now we have everything. Now we want to put everything on this page. Now let's start with one of our pictures, and you can always zoom into these. Okay, and to zoom in, you can use Command plus or Control plus as well. Now we want to select just the dress or just the person with the dress and not the background necessarily. Okay, so we're going to copy this picture and move this in here. So one thing we can do is we can click on Move tool. We can take this, hold on, and drag it into this page, and you can actually put it here and it will be here. So we can do that, but we don't want that background to show on our fashion collection. We just want the dress, not the background. So let's delete that, go back. Now we want to select just this person, and the only way you can select is to use Magic Wand. So let's just go to Magic Wand. Now with Magic Wand, if you click here, it actually makes a selection for you. And you can select this option and you can actually expand the selection, add a couple more selections, maybe get rid of this. So you can do all of that. And then you can say copy, you can go here and you can Control V or paste. Now, what I did here is a big mistake because we were trying to get exactly what I didn't get here. We wanted to get rid of the background and just get the dress, but instead I have the background only. So we want to get rid of this and we want to select just the dress. And to do that, you see our selection here, but as you can see the sides, it actually selected all the background. It selected everything but the person here with the dress. So to reverse this, you can go to select and you can inverse. And inverse will give you just that selection. And then you can copy and go there and paste it. And as you can see, we were able to copy paste this. Now you see that there are some pieces that got selected by mistake. So we're gonna try to use another option. So I'm gonna delete that again. And we're gonna go back. We're going to, you can deselect whatever you've selected. So you can go to select and deselect, and it will get rid of the selection. What I'm going to use here is the object selection tool. So object selection tool actually selects the object instead of the background. So we're going to click on this and we're going to do that. And you see that it only selected that person. So now when I copy and go back and paste it, I'm only going to get what I really needed. So this is perfect. And then you can click on the move tool and move it around, and that will make it a lot easier. Now let's do the same thing with all of our dresses. You can actually, you should probably just zoom into that. And then you can use the move tool. Wait, you can use the hand tool to move it down. The move tool will kind of get it out of the borders. Okay, so we have this dress. Now we're going to use the same thing. We're going to go to object selection. This is actually, I think, a new feature on the newest Photoshop, because generally you have to use magic wand and you kind of select all of these, and then you have to go back, inverse. That way it only selects the dress. I don't think it's inversed. Okay, and let's try this and see what we get. Copy, and we go to our layer, we paste it. Again, it only selected the borders of the dress. So that was kind of interesting. Okay, so what we are going to do, we're going to deselect. We're going to use the object selection tool and select the whole dress. And that way, as you can see, it only selected the dress. And I mean, it is pretty detailed. It selected all the little strings. So we're going to copy and then go back here and paste. Okay, and then you can use the move tool to move it around. We probably need to make this a little bit smaller, maybe. It depends. Let's just get all of our other dresses first, and then we will continue. Now, our last one is this one. So again, we'll go to object selection. You can also use magic wand and then select the borders, then inverse, but the object selection is actually a whole lot easier. So you basically select the whole thing, but it's only going to select the object inside, as long as you have a white background or a single color background. So we copy this, go back, paste it here. Now we have this, and then we can move this a little bit. All right, so now what we need is the Valentine's Day. So what I'm going to do is move this a little bit up, move this a little bit up, and move this one down. And you can play with this, be creative, whatever you want to do. Now we're going to take our Valentine's Day title. So we can copy this. You can crop this if you want. With the crop tool, you can change it, whatever you want to do. And then you can copy paste this. Another way of getting that into our page is you can take this with the move, and you can move it here and place it here, and it's actually going to put it in there as well. So that's another way of doing that, but I'm going to undo this. Now to do undo, you can just do undo here, or you can do Control Z or Command Z to undo whatever you've done. So we can also, it's selected already, so you copy and go to here and you paste it, and it's going to be pasted. Now, as you can see, the title kind of covers the dresses. Now, this is where I need to explain to you how the layers work. So if you look at the right-hand side, the background, the white background, is the very bottom one. So everything that is on top is going to be on top. And for example, the title is on top of everything. So if you move it to this, it's on top of all three dresses. This dress here is on top of whatever is below it. So everything that's on top is the ones that are on top. And you can change the order. So if you want that Valentine's Day to not cover any of the dresses, and you want to put it, let's say here, what I can do is drag this layer and move it below. Now it's still above this dress, so I'm going to move it down one more. And that way, now the Valentine's Day is at the bottom. So you can see that I've created the fashion collection, and that's your first assignment or first Photoshop exercise. I want you guys to do something similar to this, and I want you to save it. So once you finish this, I want you to, and you can delete all of these pictures now, because we don't need any of these pictures anymore, so we can delete them. You don't have to save. They're all on our first pictures, so you can get rid of all of those. Or you can just save it, but if you get rid of them, it will be a smaller file. It will be easier to manage and to upload. So I'm going to ask you to finish this, go to File, Save As, and you're going to save it on your computer, but I think it would be better if you save it in cloud, and then you can give me a link or send me, the file somehow. If you want to save it on your computer, make sure you save it on your computer into a folder that says Photoshop exercises, because you're going to need all of these when you create your Photoshop portfolio. So you don't want to lose any of them. Save all of those. I'm going to save it on my computer, and I'm going to create a file that is called Photoshop exercises. I'm going to create a folder, Photoshop exercises. And when you save this, and then save that as one fashion collection, because that's your first assignment and you want to save it as fashion collection. And it's going to be a .psd file, and you save it here. This usually comes up, so I wouldn't mess with this. You can just say okay, and it's going to be saved.